I offered 4 suggestions: Javon Kinlaw, Ronnie Bell, Jake Brendel, Jake Moody. So, Wayne, we'll turn it over to you.
I heard Moody, Kinlaw,
Brendel and
Bell.
Ronnie Bell.
Um,
And there's more people we could put in there that are surprised in a positive way. Ambry Thomas,
yeah, I have
Isaiah
one going
Oliver.
as well. I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna
Ooh,
go with Bell. When I look at Javon Kinlaw, I expected him to have a good season this year. I expected him on a rotation to be a more dominant interior defensive player, and he's doing exactly that. I think he's the third, excuse me, as far as in team pressures on this team, and he's playing great football. You're seeing him all the time. Pressuring the quarterback in the backfield, running down running backs on the sideline, it's always been health for him, right? And so like I think he got his body right. I think his health is pretty good. It's sustainable as of right now. Got a long season ahead of us. But I've expected Kinlaw to do that. Moody, my expectations were through the roof. I told you
yes, they
that. I,
were.
I wasn't mad at us drafting a kicker in the third round, especially that kicker, especially with that name and the things that I've seen him do. So I already expected him to be fine. So he's good. Jake Brendel, after his first year starting last year, I had no more worries about Jake Brendel. I knew he was going to be the starting center for the 49ers moving forward. They got him at a cheap, discounted kind of a rate when you're paying centers, and he chose here. So at the end of the day, he chose to be here. Remember, because was a free agent, he could have went elsewhere as well. And so I got to go with Ronnie Bell because this is a kid drafted in the 7th round. Now I knew he was going to be a dog when I talked to him when I interviewed him at the in Mobile, Alabama. Like everything about him just glowed about being a dominant receiver in the NFL, and he's getting his opportunities, and he's starting on special teams, and you can see that the more opportunities he gets, the more days he continues to stack, the better he's going to get. He went from not blocking to now he's one of the lead blocking wide receivers on this team, and you can see him continue to go up. So I'm a little bit surprised by how quickly, not that he's grasping the concept of the offense. That wasn't an issue for me. It was, will he be able to block?
Yep.
Because that's going to keep him on the football field, and you saw what he's able to do.
Yeah, he's fun. If you just look at again the overall PFS snapshot, he's the 7th highest rated player on the 49ers offense. He's playing about 30% of our snaps, which you had that one Ayuk game where he was out, and Bell filled in admirably. Is he Brandon Ayuk? No, but you had the awesome touchdown catch. My favorite play of his was the tip pass, the tip ball that went up in the air,
His
and
awareness,
he
yeah.
just Johnny on the spot that bad boy. Went and got it, and he's a 7th round pick. That is huge, and I think that's the thing that's so cool. And you could throw in Ronnie Bell in special teams. He's the little engine that could as a punt gunner. He doesn't have the speed that most guys that go out there do, but that dude just will not be denied. And I think that's huge. I think that's huge, especially till Samuel Womack comes back, till Danny Gray comes back. I am curious who's going to be the punt gunner opposite of him this week because Trace Williams not around anymore. Anthony Brown got brought up. Maybe him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Samuel Womack's gone. Ambry Thomas should be. I don't know if he's going to be back this week. Ambry Thomas would be the guy probably. That
Yeah,
makes the most
if
sense.
Ambry's good to go, which he didn't practice yesterday. So if Ambry's good to go, he's clearly the number one guy that's going to be on the gunner. Special teams is just better when he's out there. I know he's kind of lackadaisical in the pass catching game for everybody that goes out there and they watch football, even though I don't think they really understand the scheme and fit of what
Mm.
Steve Wilkes is doing. You're playing press man, so you got one guy up on guy and you got one guy off on the guy. You're giving up the underneath route. You're not getting beat over the top. Ambry Thomas at one point when he was playing was leading the team in tackles, and now Diamador Lenore is leading the team in tackles. So that's fun. But look, I think it's got to be Ambry on special teams once he comes back. And when you get him and you get Womack back there, then dang it, our special teams will be back in lock.
I like that. Now you brought up Demo. I had this. I wanted to talk about Demo and kind of what he's been able to do. Demo leads the team in tackles, which usually you don't want with your corners. There's
Right.
definitely some issues there. However, why are we not talking about the fact that this dude has 0 missed tackles? He don't miss tackles.
I know you don't want your cornerback leading the team in tackles. But from this schematic sense of playing off the man, off like playing far off your man, I feel like you better make the tackle if you're going to give up the underneath route. And that's what's happening. Now, he also leads the team of penalties, but at the those are some questionable PI calls. But at the end of the day, like he's playing off of his man. And so he's not big enough, I think, to play that type of press man type of defense that you want to see. You kind of save that for like Mooney Ward and you know, there may be a shift in like as long as Steve Wilkes is here, who ends up being those type of DBs. But that's the defense that we're playing. It's the bend don't break defense. And we haven't gotten beat deep yet. And I don't plan on us getting beat deep at all. And at the end of the day, I mean, the most points we gave up was in against the Rams. And those points, every game that we've played in, those points are super subjective, right? I mean, damn, they came off of penalty drives, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're in great scoring position, field position to score.
Yeah, I think that's exactly you nailed it. And so, like again, what Steve Wilkes said, the two things we want to do: we don't want to give up big plays, we want turnovers. That's simple. How do you
And
stop big plays? You make tackles.
5 interceptions, no fumble recoveries, but 5 interceptions so far on the season. And I think we're tied for like sixth. It's like a 7-way tie with teams with 5 interceptions. I don't know off the top of my head. I looked at it, but that's good, and it's gonna come.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.